Can you beat LEGO Batman without using any heroes? LEGO Batman is split into two parts, the hero and villain side, each with 15 levels. In the hero side, we only get two characters, Batman and Robin, each with 4 suits with unique abilities, which got me thinking, is it possible to beat the hero side without them? While some suits have alternatives on the villain side, such as Killer Croc for the dive suit and Man Bat for the glide suit, the heat suit, sonar suit, magnet suit and vacuum suit have no alternatives. In addition to this, the Batarang is also unique to these characters, which is key to many of the puzzles in the game. So to complete this challenge, we have to take advantage of the broken nature of this game by using the many bugs, skips and glitches. The only rule for this challenge is that we can't use any heroes, which includes Batman, Robin, Batgirl and Nightwing. And the aim of this challenge is to beat all 15 hero side missions. Starting things off with 1-1, instead of using this grapple to get up here, we can get past this toxin by using the Joker, then use the Penguin to get past these trucks. In this room we need to use this technology panel to get into the Clayface boss fight. While no villain character can use these panels, fortunately for us, the scientist can, who we can use to open this door. Once in the boss fight, we can use the Penguin to get Clayface down to 2 hearts, but when he jumps up here, we need to hit these objects to knock him into the cage. Normally, we would use a Batarang to hit these targets, but if we stand right here against the wall, we can just about hit all 3 to end the level. At the start of 1-2, we can't destroy these top targets to open the gate, but instead, we can use Poison Ivy to jump onto this van and over the fence, but we need to pull these levers to match the ice cream colours to the other side. Whilst we can access the lever below, we can't use the magnet boots to walk up to the one above, but luckily, we can just about get up by doing a double jump. Once inside the facility, to get around this magnet wall, we can jump up here with Ivy then onto the platform, but this is where we hit our first major roadblock. We can glide over here with the Penguin, but to open the door, we need to pull this lever, but since it's over a magnet wall, we can't pull the lever without sliding down. But what if we don't need to pull the lever? By chaining jumps up this pipe with the Penguin, we can e-glide all the way over to above the door, where we're just about high enough to get over the wall's collision. From here we can drop down and hit the transition zone from the other side. For those wondering, an e-glide or extended glide is when we tap the jump button instead of holding it, as this makes us travel further. In the next room, we need to get up this wall to reach the Mr. Freeze boss fight, but yet again, we need Robin's magnet suit. Luckily, if we go back to this point here, we can jump onto this pipe then onto this platform to get to the top. For the Mr. Freeze boss fight, we can simply jump off these boxes to reach this lever. 1-3 is a vehicle level, where we can use Catwoman's motorbike to tow each of the vans, as well as Two-Face's truck to beat the level. Instantly in 1-4, we need to use Batman's Sonic suit to break this glass to enter the greenhouse. Since no other character can use this ability, we need to find another way to get around. By abusing lag and jumping here, we can mess with the game's collisions to clip through the wall and into the greenhouse. We can get over this plant using a high jump character, but to get past this plant is not so simple. Normally, to get past this plant blocking the door, we would use Robin's vacuum suit to build a bomb, but no other character has access to this ability. And while it is possible to jump over the door, we can't hit the transition zone as it's inside the door. However, there is another way. Due to Penguin Minion's smaller hitbox, he can hit transition zones other characters can't, so by standing on top of this doorway and switching to him, we can reach the next room. Normally we'd use the heat suit for this platform here, but we can glide over it using the Penguin. And for this room here, to avoid using Robin's vacuum suit, we can use another lag clip to get through the door. From there, we can just defeat Ivy like normal. The first problem in 1-5 is this lever here, as we need to use a Batarang to hit this target to access the lever, but instead we can just jump over the gate. We also can't use this magnet wall here, as we can't jump high enough to get to the top. However, there is a trick to gain a lot of height. Known as a freeze fly, by freezing player 2 with Mr. Freeze, then using Joker's buzzer, if we switch to that player and spam jump, we'll keep gaining height until the freeze ends. From here we can pull the lever and enter the bank. We can walk across the toxin with Mr. Freeze and pull this lever by gliding over the Penguin. From there we can defeat the Riddler regularly. Moving over to chapter 2, at the start of 2-1, to avoid this magnet wall, we can use Catwoman to jump onto this object then onto the platform above to pull the lever. Later on, we need to use the magnet boots again to get across here. It's too fast to glide, but instead, we can walk along the top of it like so and jump from here. We can avoid yet another magnet wall by jumping onto this ladder with Catwoman. In the final boss fight, we can fight Catwoman until she jumps onto the top section, as we can't use the grapple hook and the bar is too high to reach. However, by jumping onto this light, we can reach the bar and get to the top. Unfortunately, 2-2 is where our luck ends. In this level, we need to use these bombs to destroy these shiny objects, but the Batboat is the only vehicle that can tow them. While we can't destroy this gate, it is possible to clip out of bounds all the way to the end of the level, but we still need to use the bombs to destroy Penguin's submarine. There are some Penguin torpedoes in this room, but they won't work on the submarine. This means we can't beat this level. Quickly moving over to 2-3, we can blow up this gate with the Penguin, and to open this door, we need to use Killer Croc to get under the water to reach this pump, so we can use the Penguin again to blow it up. We can use the Penguin again to blow up this hatch, as well as the Joker to shoot these targets so we can activate the stairs. To get past this section, we can use Killer Croc to pull this lever, and from there we can beat the level regularly. In 2-4, we can get inside the zoo by blowing up the gate with the Penguin, but once inside, we need to use Batman's sonar suit to access this lever. Since we have no access to sonar, there is no way to use this lever, which means we have to find another way to get around the gate. Luckily, we can just do a freeze fly to get over it, and switch the Penguin minion to hit the transition zone. From there, we can enter the boss fight with the Penguin and defeat Man-Bat. In 2-5, we can use a high jump character to get over these jumps, and once in the Penguin boss fight, we can use the Penguin's explosives to blow up each of these generators to get him to drop down. Unfortunately, when we damage the Penguin, he starts to glide around in the air. Normally this wouldn't be an issue, as we can just use a batarang to hit him down, but unfortunately this doesn't work with bullets. However, there is another way. In earlier LEGO games, bosses can take damage to the environment, such as falling off the map and walking into toxin. In LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, this is famously used to get a quick kill on Palpatine by pushing him off the edge. Luckily for us, over in the corner of this room there is some toxin we can use, so by lowering the Penguin over, we can get him to jump in and defeat him instantly. Moving over to episode 3 and into 3-1, we can walk through this toxin with the Joker, then jump around here to avoid using this grapple. In this room, to avoid using the vacuum suit to clear the toxin, we can just use a Joker to build on top of it and then use the levers. We can use the Penguin to destroy these shiny objects to build this vehicle to activate the lift, and in the next section, we can use Poison Ivy to jump up here to avoid using the magnet boots, as well as here to open the door. Once in the boss fight, we can simply jump up here to get to the top, and from there we can easily beat the Mad Hatter. In 3-2, we can use the Penguin's bomb to get into this room, but once there we need to use Robin's magnet boots to get up this wall. Whilst we can jump on top of the platform, we can't jump over the wall, and we can't use the grapples to get over it either. To get around this, we can jump around the fence like so. To get up this wall, we need to use Robin's vacuum suit, but instead we can do a freeze fly to get to the top. From here we can beat the level regularly and defeat Harley Quinn. Unfortunately, 3-3 is another vehicle mission we can't beat. While these torpedoes appear in both the hero and villain side of this level, only the Batwing can use the hero side torpedoes, which we have to use in the final room to defeat the Scarecrow. In 3-4, we can walk over this toxin with Mr. Freeze, then use the Penguin to blow up this van. Once inside, we can use the Penguin again to blow up these lights to build a path to access the lift. After going up the lift, we can use this panel with the scientist to destroy this wall using the robot, and to avoid the fire in this section, we can chain wall jumps up here with Poison Ivy, then walk around the fire. And in the boss fight, we can use the Penguin and the scientist to defeat Killer Moth. Finally, in 3-5, we can easily get inside of the cathedral, but we need to get up this magnet wall to reach the lever above. It's too high to jump to, but instead, we can jump onto this chandelier to get to the other side. But for this magnet wall, we can avoid it by using a high jump character and pulling both levers to get into the Joker boss fight. Once in here, we can jump up to each of these platforms to release Harley and the Joker, where we can easily destroy the helicopter and defeat the Joker to end the level. So, can you beat LEGO Batman without using superheroes? Well, kind of. While we only beat 13 out of the 15 levels, the 2 levels we couldn't beat being vehicle missions, we could beat the game without the characters themselves, which is kind of ironic that the main difficulty of this challenge didn't even come down to the characters themselves. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe to see more challenge videos like this. And as always, thanks for watching.